Hey all, I just had a chance to read Chronify's Candidate Expectations Report for 2023, and it left me feeling a little, So I'm going to hit you with some things that, may or may not have surprised me. But first things first is there's actually more people leaving the interview process due to it being slow than before. I'm actually really shocked by that because you see all these layoffs, you see all these people supposedly looking for jobs. You would think that they would stay there because they need to, but it's actually a lot hotter of a market than we give ourselves credit for, than we even really know. And so I was really, really, really shocked by that. Number two is 72% said that the smoothness of a process actually affected their decision. That's also really interesting because that just shows that candidate experience is only coming up the tippity top, but not just on how are they feeling and the feedback, but actually the process of the interview. So my advice there is while it's slow, take advantage of really building a great process that can affect everyone in a better manner. The hiring managers is feeling stronger, the candidates are feeling stronger, recruiters are feeling better about all this. It's time to gel. Now, something that I also thought was interesting is that France and Germany say that it's more important to have a human connection, even more so than here in the States. And I was like, why is that? Maybe it's because in the States we're embracing technology at a faster level. So that's kind of interesting. I personally love the human connection, people, so I hope that becomes that we want that more. Now, responsiveness is the most important in the UK and the US, actually 56%. So responsiveness, yes, we see all the time on our LinkedIn feed. I've been ghosted by this recruiter, by this company. Oh my God. But what you guys don't see a lot of is that candidates are ghosting companies a lot. So I kind of think that that's something maybe we should be talking about a little bit more in order to come together and respond on both ends of the field. So I would be interested in talking to recruiting teams and say, hey, how's the responsiveness from the candidates? I want to flip that a little bit. Now, naturally, stress and anxiety comes with delays. So I was not surprised to see that because as you are going through the interview process, even if you're not actively looking, it's stressful. It's like, think back to kindergarten days, high school days, where it's like, oh my God, do I have a friend? Or, hey, how did this date go? It's the same kind of vibe. So that didn't surprise me at all. I also was surprised based off the human connection stat that 62% want an automated scheduling system. Okay. But we want the human connection. So I'm wondering where they're wanting that human connection. But by all means, I absolutely think we need more of an automated system because the back and forth gets to be a lot because you got to talk to the hiring manager, the recruiter, the candidate. Do you have a recruiting coordinator? There's so much that gets into that. So I agree, there should definitely be something more automated. And then here is something that I was really surprised about is that women are complaining more about the interview delays more than men. I always found that women are more patient than men. So that's actually really interesting. Go women, let's start complaining too, right? But no, I was really surprised by that. So, advice overall, people want to feel wanted. People want to hear what's going on. Their expectations are getting higher and higher and higher. And I think that companies need to make sure that we're taking a step back. We're looking at our stats and our data, and then now we're training and making the appropriate moves and shifts, especially when things are a little bit slower, because what's going to happen is we're going to start speeding up again, and all of these things are going to just fly out the door, and we're going to see a lot of dropouts in the interview process. So if you're spending a lot of time building top of funnel, you better also be spending a lot of time making sure that they're going through your process and hopefully all the way to the close, and they're joining you on their team. Not to mention, you then have to make sure you're onboarding correctly. So this is a lot more stuff that goes into hiring. And I hope and pray that you guys as a company are looking at the stats and saying I'm going to do better because we need to do better. So have fun doing better.